trying to, looks like I can't. Okay, we'll have to use it like that. Guess I like this, prefer this better. Okay. Let's see. Do I get all right. Okay, great. Great. Thanks for stopping by. Let's wait for like 5 minutes before we start, right? So we are waiting for 5 more minutes, yeah? Before we start. Let's see if there are more people that will join. Chimde. Chimdindo. Chimde. Come, please. Where are you? Did you tell your uncle?
What?
Come, bring that water for me, please. Careful. Careful. Just drop it there. Please tell your uncle. Remove this. I think that's the problem. Is it?
Are you live?
Yeah. Close the door. Tell your uncle about that thing, please. So I'm watching the time. There's a timer here. Once it's 5 minutes, I start. I've finished it. I get tuned now to check for you guys. Shut the door properly. Shut the door properly. Okay. We start. Hi, my sewing lovers. Thank you for joining, and I'm super excited to train you on how to sew today. I've received your many requests Give me a second. Let me get something. Okay. So I received your many requests on what you would like to learn how to sew, on what you like to learn to sew. And this training is for beginners, people who have no basic idea of sewing. And if you already have an idea of sewing, you could still like learn one or two. And I need to shout out to all the people from all around the world that have subscribed and registered for this training. Sorry about that. Okay, so when I asked that you guys should introduce yourselves and your locations, I had different people from different parts of the world who registered for this training. Nigeria, Lubumbashi, Liberia, Zambia, Douala, South Africa, Nairobi, Pretoria North, Dakar, Antigua, Canada, Somalia, Ghana, and the rest of them like that. Those who also just joined. A lot of persons from around the world, and it's so amazing to see that I have people from different parts of the world who are interested in this training. And I've seen your requests on what the different things you're going to learn. I've seen some people saying they want to learn how to sew corsets. We can't learn that in 2 days because of the time frame that we have, right? So that's like for advanced people who learn how to make that, but not today. It's not for today. It's not for this package, right? Let's start with those who have no basic idea of sewing. Are you with me? Now, before anything, you need to have those items, these materials to learn how to sew. You need to have them down. If you know you're preparing on the journey of sewing, you want to learn how to sew, you want to know how to sew, these are the various requirements that you need. So these are sewing machines. These are sewing machines. These are for my kids, right? Set that up for them. So you will need a sewing machine. Something like this. Usually, if it was a physical class, right, I start training them with a manual machine. This is what manual machine looks like with the leg, right? This is the head. Manual machine is not electrical, so you know how to pedal. In case of, probably you're sewing for a client or even for yourself, and then you're in a hurry, light goes off, you need to switch to this. So this is very, very important in my academy for my students. So they always learn with this. As soon as they're already good at it, I promote them to, as soon as they're already good at this, I promote them to this electrical. Once they are good at this, and I'm sure they are very good at this, I promote them to this. So if you are coming from my physical class, this type of sewing machine is very important for you to face. You must face this challenge. So that's it. Now, that you're aware that you need a sewing machine to start, of course you need a sewing machine to start. Of course, it's not rocket science. It's something everybody should know. Without sewing machine, you can't make clothes, right? Now, The next thing you will need is a measuring tape. Threads of different colors. Usually for my students, physical students, I require them, they have to provide different colors of this threads. Recently, it's already in the package of the academy to provide all these items for the students. Then scissors, at least 3 of them. This is my academy requirement, but you as my online students, one-on-one, you just need different colors of thread. Start with the scissors, you don't need so many of them. Start with a tape rule, measuring tape, and then we have ruler, tailor's ruler, right? When I started learning how to sew, I started with wooden ruler, but this is perfect. This is amazing. This is, this can be chopped off. You can see rough edges in this, but the wooden one, once you start getting, the straightness becomes blunt, and you start seeing edges, rough edges, right? And then these are curves. These are curve rulers. These are basically used when you have any curvy area that you need to mark when wide cut, right? Usually for hip area or armhole, or even maybe like a neckline design, or even just anywhere around your clothes that you need to mark a curve in. This would help. This essentially is a cutting out ruler, right? And this can also pass as this side can also be the work of this. So most fashion designers use this for both the curving and the ruler. It saves them that stress. Now, the last but not the least, it's not the least anyway, it's not even the last, tailor's chalk. You need tailor's chalk of different colors. You know why? Because this is white, yeah. If you're, for example, you would be cutting a white fabric, you definitely would not use this on a white fabric because it wouldn't show what you're measuring or what you're marking. So you need this and different other colors. I think I have some here. Let me show you guys. So this is what the pack of it looks like, right? So it comes in different colors. You have yellow, like I have pink here. I have a pink fabric here that we're going to be using for this training. So I can't use this on this. It won't show too well. This is red, which is close to pink. I can either use this white, which is brighter, or use this blue to come out. See? Can you see? Which one can you see more? The blue, right, or the white? Anyways, so you need a contrasting color for your fabric. So that's basically what you need as a beginner to start on this journey. Now, let's begin. The next thing we'll be doing, the next step we'll be doing is taking measurement. From your request, I see a lot of requests from the beginners. I need to learn how to make tops and dresses, gowns. I'm a beginner. So let's take it one step at a time. Let's see if we can complete the making of a top today. Okay, let's take a measurement. Let's start. Chimde, come. So I'm going to use I would have used the mannequin, but I don't have one on ground or that is available or within reach. Let me use a proper human being for the measurement. So this is my son. They're on holiday, so he's around with me. So we're going to use him as for the measurements. Since we're making a top, stand here. Get down. Didn't work. Get down. Let's use the chair. Let's see if this will work. Okay, let's just lift this up a bit, right? Let's just adjust. Okay, that's better. Okay, so meet my son. I'm gonna be using him for the measurement. Don't worry, if you think you've missed something, don't worry, we'll do something about it at the end of this video. So, but pay attention for where you're watching from. This is even the most important part. Every other one was just intro. So, we are starting the proper tutorial now. So, I'm going to take the top measurement of Chimdindo. I've got my measurement book here. You can see it. But not to worry, you're not a professional. You don't have to bother yourself getting a measurement book. But this is what I have. I'm going to use it. You can just basically just get any jotter, any paper just for a start, So this is my measurement book. I'm going to get my measurement book. You can see different measurements of different lines. So I'm going to get my measurement book and to write down its top measurement. Let me just use the back. sorry. Okay. Where's the pen? I thought I got a pen. So, like I said, this is the most important part of this tutorial. Getting the, see the pen I was looking for. Getting the measurement of the top. Now, imagine that you're making a top for someone or for yourself. This is how you go about it. The full length of the top, starting from the beginning of the measuring tape. The measuring tape comes in the both sides. The both sides. There is the inch side and there is a centimeter side. So I'm using the inch side, right? Someone from Namibia just joined. Welcome. So this is the inch side. These ones that are, that have more space. This is the centimeter side of the tape rule. So we're using the inch side of the tape rule to take our measurements. So please pay attention. So starting from the beginning, which is 1, and take your measurement. Where is that my pink tape you save? So for the length, you need to know that it depends. I need you to see my face. It depends on where you want the length of your top to get to. Either you want a crop top, or you want it to get here, or you want it to get here, or you want it to get here, or here, or even here, right? But anyways, once it gets here, it's turning to a gown already. Anyway, so it depends on where the length of your top. So let's use what he has here. The length of his top is 28. We have 28 inches. I come here and then write it down. For a beginner, you may not be able to master the measurements off by heart at the initial stage. As you progress, you'll be able to take in all the measurements without even putting them in your book. But to be more precise, you write them down. So the full length of the top is what did I write? 28. The next one is to take the bust. Can you see it? So you move this, the beginning of the tape roll, into the other side to be able to get your bust measurements. Now for ladies, anyway, even for male, you don't have, you must not make the bust tight. It's not like this. Don't take it like this. It's tight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. So it's not going to be tight. Don't make your bust tight, please, when you're taking your measurements. Ensure that when you put when you're measuring when you put the tape around the bust, ensure that it's able to go freely, like this, to move free. Sorry. Ensure that it's able to move freely around the waist like this. But once it's tight, it can't move. It won't even be able to wear it, right? So what you do is, when you're taking your bust, ensure that your fingers can pass through. You see what I'm doing? Are you guys seeing what I'm doing? I need a thumbs up or a comment. Is there any way you can write out something? So anybody can do that for me. So you'll see what I'm doing, right? Ensure that your fingers can pass through the space you left for bust. That's how to get the bust area. You see, it's moving freely, right? So his bust is, what does the bust say? Can you see it? 27. His bust is 27. You write it down. 27. Now, the next thing to get is his shoulder. There is no step-by-step rule on taking the measurements. As it comes, you take it. You understand? But just the main thing is just be able to take every measurement you need. If it's bust that you want to start, you start. If it's shoulder you want to start with, you start. So it's not necessarily like the way I'm taking it is the right way or the standard way. No, the way it comes, you should take it. So the shoulder. Now, Chindu, you need to bend down. I need to show them something. Face the camera a bit. There is this bone here. I don't know how to explain to you guys. There's this bone on your shoulder here. 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 There's bone here. If you touch your own, you feel it. There's a bone here. And here. I've forgotten what it's called. So that's how to determine your shoulder for your top, especially for ladies. Yeah. So you carry your tape from here. Do you notice that it's polo, it's t-shirt, the armhole starts from here? Did you notice? But that's not the kind of top we want to make. Usually this is applicable for men, but for women, or for men, and then generally t-shirts. For women that are making tops, you know, our top now, it's here. Notice it's not here, it's here, right? Then you take it to the other end too. Turn your back, let them see. Bend down a bit. Thank you. You see, from this shoulder to this other one, it's giving me 14. And that's generally standard for even adults who are not fat. So for me, I use 15, I use 16. So if you're on the slim side, 14 is standard, even for adults. So he is 14. I think 13 self. His own is 13. His own is 13, but you use 14. I believe everyone here is adult. Is an adult. So use 14. Shoulder 14. Pay attention, please. Where is the shoulder? 14. Now, the next thing to take is the sleeve. Anyway, let's take the waist. We have not taken the waist. Remember I said you should not make this place tight. You should make it free to be able to go around like this. Now, it's not the case. It's not the case for waist. Because if you make your waist free, if you wear skirt or trouser, it will fall off. Abby, good. It's going to fall off. So you make your waist tight. Now, for example, my normal waist, if I should take it round, if I should take my normal waist round, it will give me 37. It's tight. Anyway, let me tighten it a bit. It will give me 36. That's my waist. But because I wear waist trainer, I call it Gedo. Because I wear Gedo and I want to make my waist slimmer, I go all the way to 32. My waist, I make it 32. You can see it. So by the time I wear that Gedo, it will trim my waist. So imagine going from 36 to 32. So anyways, your normal waist measurements, you have to make it tight. You have to make it really tight, so that by the time you wear it, you're wearing your skirt or your trouser and you're zipping up is perfect, right? So his waist is 24. Is it tight? Good. His waist is 24. I hope you're paying attention. Now the next thing is the sleeve. Taking the sleeve measurement. Zara, please. The next one is taking the sleeve measurement. Now for the sleeve measurement depends on how you want it, where you want it to stop, right? It could be half length, it could be full, it could be, short sleeve, 3/4 sleeve, short sleeve, 3/4 sleeve, long sleeve, right? So now it depends on how you want it. It could stop here, it could be here, it could be here. It depends on wherever you want your sleeve to stop. So for today, let's go for long sleeve. Let's just do everything so that you will have an idea of how to go about it, right? Now, in taking my long sleeve, I'm going to take everything, right? I'm going to take even here, because here is important to take, right? Because we as adults, we have this, especially those of us that are on the big side, we have this part has to be measured. If you are taking a long sleeve, this part has to be measured, right? So now pay attention. So this is long sleeve. When you're writing it, you don't write long sleeve. When you're writing it, you write sleeve length. So the way I take my own, please pay attention. The way I take my own long sleeve is I take the 3 parts here almost like underarm area, then the elbow area, and then the ankle. I take the 3 of them in taking my long sleeve. Now, this is from here to 6, from your shoulder to number 6. You write it. That's 6 inches. Sleeve length. I will show you when I'm done. Sleeve length, you write 6. Another sleeve length. This is the elbow side. 12. You write it. 12. Another one. Then the long sleeve where it's stopping, and the actual length is stopping. This is 22. You write 22. So for my sleeve length, which is a long sleeve, I wrote 6, 12, 22. 6, which is that whole area, that's this part, and then 12 the elbow, and then 22 the actual length of the sleeve, right? Remember, you can take the measurement of your sleeve anywhere you want it to stop. Now for the sleeve width, what is sleeve width? They popularly call it it's popularly called round sleeve, right? This is it. This is sleeve length. From here, from shoulder to here is the sleeve length. Then this is round sleeve, but I call it sleeve width. That is the training I got. Sleeve width. So I want to take my sleeve width, right? For this long sleeve I want to make, I will go to that 6 inches and take my sleeve width there, like this. Now it depends on how you want your sleeve to be. Do you want it to be like this, free like this, or you want it to be tight? So let's just do a tight sleeve, right? So it's 10. Now remember that this, if you're on the big side or an adult who actually have this big, what's this thing called again? You have to, you make sure you don't make it tight. It has to also go free so that you can be able to wear it easily. It has to go free. It must not be tight. Never you make it tight. You see? So it has to go free. It will enable easy passage of your outfits whenever you're wearing it. You're putting your hand into the sleeve to allow easy passage. So now the sleeve width, now that we understand that the sleeve width here is 10. That 10, I will write it under that 6. Then I'll come at the elbow area, which is the 12. I take it. Now the elbow area, you must make sure that when you're taking it, your clothes can be able to be free, not the one that you wear clothes. You can't do like this. Even if it's fitted and tight, make sure that you sew it in such a way that you can move your elbow like this. Not the one that you want to move elbow, you do like this. No. Do you understand? Good. So now I'm going to ask him to move his elbow, to fold his elbow. Oh yeah, fold. Thank you. Great. So I have 11. 11. Now, the long sleeve, the actual length of the sleeve, I take my round sleeve there. Then I have 8. I have 8. Do you understand what I just did? So I took long sleeve. I took the sleeve length of the long sleeve, right? I took the sleeve length of the long sleeve, and I've shown you the measurements. And I also took the sleeve width of the sleeve, right? If you watch this measurement book now, they wrote round sleeve. They wrote sleeve length here, and they wrote round sleeve here. So I took the sleeve length, the various sleeve lengths, and I took my sleeve width. So under that 6, I wrote 10. Under that 12, I wrote 11. Under the actual length, I wrote 8. When I'm cutting, by the time I'm cutting, you will understand how this will play out. Right? So, and that's about the measurements of the top. Let's run it down again. Taking the measurement of your top, you need the shoulder, you need the bust, you need the waist, the sleeve length, the sleeve width, and then the top length, full length of the top. Again, if you're not making something like this, you're making a fitted top that will show your waist, a fitted top, right? That will fit properly. You need to take half length. Half length is determined from the shoulder, by taking your measurements from the shoulder to just slightly above your navel. Half length is 14. This is his navel here, just slightly above is where you get your half length. The same area where you measured the waist, the same area where you took your tape round the waist when you're taking the measurement, is where you get your half length. Because when you're making something like a dress or a top that has peplum, those you attach to the upper area, that is when you need this also half length. You also need it in determining the the fitting of your clothes when you're cutting, right? So this is half length, which is 14. We write that down, 14. Now that we have the half length, and that half length will help us to get the waist. We've already taken the waist. I think you can go now. Thank you very much for your help. Bye. I'll call you again when I need you. So we now have our measurements ready. We are going to the next. I need your help. We need the next one. Sorry. We're proceeding to the next stage. Should I run the measurement thing one more time? Anyways, let me run it very quickly. We have shoulder, we have bust, we have half length, we have the top length, the mentioned blouse length here. They called it blouse here. We have the top length, where it's written blouse length. We have the sleeve length, the sleeve width, and then that's all, right? So this measurement is what we're going to need to cut. And we are not doing pattern drafting. This is simply very basic. You can do this without pattern making. You can do this without drafting a pattern. When it gets complicated, when we get to that complicated stage, we will start pattern drafting. And in fact, that is a tutorial on its own. So let's use freehand to learn. Trust me, you would appreciate it. It's very easy. And in fact, I've been using freehand to sew for a very long time now. Pattern drafting is, for me, having been more knowledgeable. And pattern drafting also actually makes your measurements very accurate and precise. Like when you are done sewing, it comes out really, fitted most of the time. It doesn't mean that the freehand cannot do the work. Like I said, I do freehand a lot. But when I want to start making those kind of dresses, all those reception dresses, all those wedding dresses, all those suits making, even suit making, you can do it with freehand. There's nothing you can also with freehand if you know what you are doing, right? So let's start. I need to clear this off so that I can find space for okay. So I'm going to be using this. I tried to tilt this camera so that this can be wide enough for you to see, but let's see. When I start, let's see how we can navigate this. This is already 13. Are you sure we can finish this? Okay, all we'll do is we'll learn this cutting part. Then tomorrow we'll do the sewing aspect. I think that's better because see, it's almost going more than this is already 38, almost 40 minutes. So I don't want it to be too much. Now, the next stage is cutting of fabric. If you notice, this fabric is rough. Most fabrics are rough when you want to start cutting. Most. So it is essential. Chimde, I need iron, please. Please move the iron closer to me. It is essential that you iron out your fabric before cutting to avoid mistake, to avoid, just make everything perfect, because your measurement on the fabric will be perfect, your cutting out will be perfect, your sewing will be perfect. But if you're cutting a raw fabric, it will be squeezing to stress you. So just do everything. Just make everything a perfection. So bring the iron for me, plug it. So we're going to, let me see if this one will work here. We're going to iron out the fabric before we cut. Right, this is the iron. Now this is a steam. It's not on. Careful. It's not on. It came up and went off. That place you put it before, I think is better. Just not make it shake. Okay, I think I reduce this. It's on. Thank you. You want to iron? That's well done. So, let me tell you something about this type of iron. This is a steam iron, and there are various types of steam iron. But this is for a starter. This is typically okay. If you don't have that enough money to buy the other type that you pour water inside and it steams out for you. So, but this is basically okay. There is water inside. This is perfect for sewing because it will not burn your clothes in any way. It will never burn your clothes, except the iron becomes faulty. I've been using this for years with the other one. Even if it's a net fabric, lace fabric, all those very soft fabric, even this one, it will never burn it. You know what I mean by net? All those tulle fabrics, right? This will never burn it. It will iron it perfectly. So this is why it is advised, you're encouraged to get this kind of iron, right? The steam in it regulates the heat from burning whatever fabric that you're working on, right? Unlike those hot iron that once you place it, when any small mistake, it's burnt. Your fabrics are burnt, and it's too bad. But then again, there's one thing about sewing. There's one thing about knowing how to sew. There's one thing about fashion design and creativity. Even if clothes burn, there's a way you do it to look like style. There's a way you rearrange it to look like style. Do you understand? So it's very good to be creative. Anyway, I'm not advising you to go and burning people's clothes or burn your clothes. Get iron, steam iron. Now the next stage, moving to the next stage, is ironing out your fabric. This is wooden table, which is not supposed to be what I should use. I will pan this camera over to the other table for you to see the kind of table I use for ironing. Are you guys seeing this? This is the ironing table I use. Right. So this has foam inside it. Then you use this as cover. Right. That's the ironing table. That's the right table to use. You can never iron on a wooden table, but for the sake of this tutorial, let's just manage it. Or do I quickly, since I'm here already, let's quickly iron this here. Let's quickly iron this here. Okay, so you iron out your fabric, especially the area that you need. Okay, I will need this part. I will need this area. So I'm bringing this back here. In case you're wondering why I have too many sewing machines, I'll tell you why. In the comment section. Are you seeing that? So that's the work. Once it does that, it irons out everything, no matter how rough. I'm done ironing this now. You are not going to necessarily iron out everything. You just, if you know the parts that you think will be enough for you to sew, iron that part. You don't have to iron out all the fabrics. So I set this up earlier today to teach my kids on how to sew. So these are for them, and I also have many more. I'll tell you guys why later, maybe in the comment section. I'll tell you why I have a lot of sewing machines. A whole lot. I have like up to 200 sewing machines. Okay, I'm enjoying this. I hope you too. Now this is the area that I ironed. I need somebody to stop that dog, please. Too many distractions. So the next thing you need to know how to do when you've ironed out the fabric is the right side of the fabric. Are you guys, I hope you're writing. You should write. Oh, what is it now? This is a distraction, for goodness sake. I'm live. Okay, it's hot. Please take it to your side, I beg. Carry it now to your side. It's not following you. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry. Now, I hope you guys have been paying attention, close attention, writing things down, because if you were in my physical class, you have to be writing. You were supposed to be writing. You are meant to write, so that you can go over it, and until you get to know these things. When you practice constantly, you won't need to go back to your book. Now, I've ironed the fabric. The next thing is folding of the fabric. For fabrics, there are two faces, the outer part and the inner part. Now, we need to know which one is the front or which one is the back. You tell me which part you think is the front and which one is the back. In most cases where the fabrics are confusing, such as this, because some fabrics look alike, both the front and back, but there's usually one that is shinier than the other. So you come to this part. This area would help you to determine which one is the front or which one is the back. Now for this one, this is definitely this. I don't confuse you. This is definitely the front. This is definitely the front side. I don't know if you can see, because here, right, the inner one is the holes of the inner one are usually like more open than the one in front. Are you seeing any difference? Not quite, but slightly, if you're seeing it in physical. So, but you agree with me that if I show you this part, it's shinier than this other side. Am I right? It's the same thing, but there is a little difference. One is shinier. Look at it very well. You agree with me that this is the shinier part, yeah? So now that you know that this is the front side of the fabric, when you are turning your fabric, you are not going to fold the outer part, which is this where people will see where the designs are going to be shown, right? You are going to fold. If you're folding the back, which is where you're going to stitch from. Do you understand? So some of the reasons why you have to fold the back when folding. This is the front. See, like this now. I have the back already. I folded the back already, because by the time, to avoid stains from chalk, right, to avoid stains from chalk, even though in most cases where you're going to mark, your scissors would take them away, right? But not everything that the scissors will take off, because there are some that when you're taking the armhole, we'll get there and I'll show you, right? We'll get there. And then to avoid stains on the fabrics, that's another reason. So now that you've folded the back side, we are going to now come back to the measurements. The measurements will help us to determine the length of the or the size of the fabric we are going to fold. Then for the measurements, you will look at, since we are not making a dress, it's just top, right? If you watch, the bust is 27 and the waist is 24. So folding usually depends on this sides of the body, here, right? Mostly here and the hips. Here, not even here. Here and the hips, right? But we're not making a dress, neither are we making trouser, skirts. So the wider part of the body that has the highest measurements is the bust. This is where you're going to use to determine the folding of your fabric. Now, this measurement says the bust is 27. It is that because if you look at the measurement, I'm not talking about the length, so I mean round like this. If you look at the measurement, you realize that bust is the wider part of the upper body, yeah? So that is what we are going to use to determine your folding. Please, I need to get, I'm sorry, please, give me like 2 minutes. I need to get this, a better measuring tape. I thought this was cool. Like, I'm sure somebody must have done something to this. This is not complete, so it may affect whatever I did when we're dividing our measurement, because we're going to do a lot of divisions here. Please give me like 2 minutes. I'm back. I'll be right back. Sorry, I've got another one. I actually have a pack of this. I hid them because if you expose them, you wouldn't find them. So we have okay. This thing has been switched on since now.
Huh?
This is switched on since.
I don't need this waiting for you. She's done.
Tell her to hold on. Unplug this. I'm live. I'm not done. Just iron what you're iron. Iron that. Okay, so we have this. Are you seeing this now? We have the right measurements. Now, let's get back to business. Like I said, the bust is 27. And I told you earlier that we're going to do a lot of division. So whatever we're doing, we're going to be dividing it into 4. I'm talking about the bust. So the bust is 27. So you divide this 27 into 4. You take the tip, the beginning of this measuring tip, to the 27. Look at it. Inside. See what I'm doing now? Inside that centimeter area, remember, make sure that it touches the 27. If you go and do it with a calculator, it may give you points and you get confused. So you just use your tape to do the measurement. Use your tape to divide this thing into 4. So understand what I'm doing. Let me go again. I took this tip to touch the 27 behind, not in front like this. To touch the 27 behind, right? Now that I've let it to touch 27 inches behind, I try to find the half. This is already half of it. This is what I'm doing. I'm pressing it so that I can still see it. I have pressed it now. It gave me 13.5. I moved that tip again into the 13.5 because I pressed it. In case I forget, I'm able to see the sign. Then I fix this tip into that 13.5. Then I get my final measurement that I'm looking for. So this gave me 6.7, sorry. You see what they gave me? Look at it here. Now if you use calculator, you may be getting some fractions like 0.0005, 5.000, all those kinds of things. So it's you get confused, and in fact you will not be accurate. So use your tape to do your mathematics, your calculations. So this is what I have, 6.7. Now I'm going to use it to turn this, to fold this fabric, right? One more thing. When you guys, let me go off here and come back, please. Let me go off it. Network is misbehaving. So let's call the other section part 2, cutting of the fabric. I think that's better, cutting of the fabric. I'll come back soon. Let me just check out this connection. Okay, let me explain this thing. I don't want to go off on you guys. Let me explain this thing very quickly. Okay, so I have 6.7, remember, after dividing it into 4, that's 27 into 4. I have something like that with my tape rule. So remember I did like this. Folding into 4 means you go 1 and then you go another. That's 2 times. That let's work. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is what it means by folding into 4. If you notice, I have this thing here. This, I didn't fold it to touch this ending. I didn't fold this to touch here. I gave space. I'll come back and cut off this side, all the places that we don't need. We'll cut it off eventually. By the time we are sure of what we need, we'll cut off the remaining part of the fabric. So you see the space that I left. Notice I didn't do like this. I gave space, right? This space is called zip allowance. This space is called zip allowance. Now I will come, use my tape. And zip allowance is usually like 2 inches. For beginners, use 2 inches. You're not perfect yet. You're not a professional yet. Use 2 inches in case. So I have 6.5, right? I put my tape. 6.7. I've placed my tape. See where the 6.7 reached. So I have this space left. I have this space left. This one. This one now. It's not up to 1 inch. So I'll go again. What am I looking for? I'm looking for seam allowance. This thing. This. Where you stitch both sides. That is what is called seam allowance. That's what I'm looking for. But it's not enough. Because I'm looking for 2 inches seam allowance. what I'm trying to say is after that 6.7, I'm to add extra 2 inches, which will give me 8.7 in general, in total, right? But I don't have, all I have here is 7.5. So it's not even up to. What I have here is 7.5. But I'm looking for 2 inches. 6.7 plus 2 inches seam allowance will give me 8.7. Okay, so since it's not enough, I'll go again. I'll adjust it. I'll move the fabric forward. Go into 4. Fold into 4. Leaving my zip allowance. Leaving my zip allowance. Then I come check if it's up to. Perfect. I have what I'm looking for. 8.7. Let's stop here, please. Let's go back to the group. Let me know if we should continue very quickly. I need to make this connection stable. I'm not the one that is doing the connection, but I feel like let me just let this phone rest a bit. What do you think? Like a break. Let's do a break. Maybe like 10 minutes break. Is that fine? Then I'll come back. We name that part 2. Part 2, which is cutting of the fabric, right? So I'll go off now. I hope you've gotten it up to this part. I'll go off, then I'll come back to continue with the explanation on cutting of the fabric, right? So thank you guys for joining, and I appreciate your reaction so far. It means I'm doing something great. Thank you. I'll come back. I'll see you guys soon. So let's go back to our community. Tell me if I should continue after 10 minutes, please. I need, even if it's one person's response. That's like a ginger for me. Thank you. Bye. See you later.